So this is where we're at in 2020. People
Yeah.
are hoarding toilet paper.
Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to episode number 5 of The Adventures of Michi Man. I'm joined today by one of my new friends, Wes, who is like myself, a corona and millions of other people, a corona 19 virus victim, lost our job. So he was sitting around doing nothing for like 3 months. And so he follows economics and politics very closely. So I just figured this would be a good time to bring somebody on I can ask them questions and just let them pull out the shovel and just dig. You know what I mean? So anyway, Wes,
What's up?
why don't you tell everybody where you from, what you do, how you got out here, and how long you've been out of work, and how this has affected you personally.
Okay. First starters, I'm Wes. Originally from St. Petersburg, Florida.
Not James.
Not James West. I moved out. After my first experience with Arizona was 2000. I moved out here with my parents. I was 12 years old. So I went to middle school, high school here. And I moved back to Florida for about 10 years, 10, 11 years, and came back to Phoenix on and off throughout the time, 2007, 2017. Came out for maybe 3 months and went back home, got some stuff situated. And I moved back out here late 2019, August. Came out August 2019. And I've just been here ever since. I'm into real estate. What I do is real estate acquisitions. And so I just price real estate. I've been doing real estate investing maybe 4 years now, 2016 to now. And on and off doing wholesaling. I've worked with other investors, doing JVs, fixing flips. And I came out to get into commercial property, but I have been working single families since I got here, and just working through the process, working with different companies, working with different investors. And that's been my story pretty much since I've been here, just getting to myself and staying focused. But we've got our situation with Corona here, and that's bringing up a whole lot of new opportunities that we've yet to find, but we're
This
still
being
working
one
on
of them.
it. Hey. But that's what we're working on. So we just started chopping it up. How long have we haven't known each other, but we've known of each other? Because I would see you at least for a good 2 months. Because I walk past you every morning, going to Fry's.
Yeah. So a lot of time spent in the park.
Yeah. This is it's pretty much a sanctuary, but when you don't have anything to do, nowhere to go, nobody bothers you here. It's nice.
Well, the bus is free though, so I get like bus ride. That's me. But yeah, man, it just seems like people are just like crazy angry, man. And God, I hope it's over soon, because it's starting to be over 100 degrees out here. Oh my God, people are losing their mind as it is, man.
People are mad. People are sad.
Yeah.
People are scared.
And it's like going to the racetrack when you go in the grocery store on Saturday, man. People just 100 miles an hour knocking you into stuff, displays, and I was like, oh my God, lady. That gigantic ass basket, you know damn well you need your daughter to help you steer that thing. And she had a nerve to put like 2 turkeys in it and like hamburger. I mean, she had it loaded down.
You remember the lady
man.
who got on the bus with us yesterday? Was it yesterday? It might have been the day before yesterday, but she had a cart. Maybe she had 50, 60 toilet paper rolls.
No,
You
I
didn't
missed
see
that.
her?
I
We
missed
went
that,
to
yeah.
went to Chaparral. She was the
Yeah.
lady that got on the bus with the cart. She had the 2 boxes in the cart. She got
Okay.
on, and she like sat up front.
Yeah, no, I didn't pay attention.
In her cart, it had to be 8 high and
Really?
maybe 5, 6 deep.
Really?
So she had, and then whatever this was across, so she probably had in the neighborhood of 50, 60, maybe more single roll toilet papers.
Wow. No, I
So-
didn't see that, man. I didn't see that.
So this is where we're at in 2020. People
Yeah.
are hoarding toilet paper.
I know. Well, at least there's you still have a bunch of it. Not like
Yeah.
when it first hit. It was just like you go to like 8 different stores, man. It don't matter if it's one's Walmart, one's Target, one's like Kroger for everybody on the East Coast, Fry's for everybody else. Safeway. They don't have any Giants out here, but Giant back in the way.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Now, on the local level, we talked about this a lot. nothing has been done for anybody, not just Arizonians, but for anybody. And I don't understand how money can be allotted to these various states and them not do anything with it. You know, like the $1,000 should be coming from the state. We should be getting probably about 10,000 from the government initially. That's
Yeah.
my personal opinion, but
It would be nice, but
so tell me, what do you think first locally about Ducey? I know we've had many discussions, but he's the Arizona
governor.
There you go.
I
And
think he's a
then
Republican.
and then roll into like Trump.
I'm gonna be honest. I know more about what Trump is doing, what he's about than Ducey, because I got out here August.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking about the governor.
That's all right. You've been following since August, though.
But,
It don't take long to form an opinion about somebody.
It took me.
I'm talking about
actually,
like during this crisis
I
right
don't,
now.
honestly,
though.
honestly,
Yeah.
I never knew who he was until maybe a week or two ago.
Oh, okay.
When I was like looking around, looking at numbers, and I was
Yeah.
just like, okay, so who is the person that's got us on lockdown? So I just started looking around. It's Doug Ducey. I found him, and but yeah, I think from my reading his comments on Twitter, because that's the only place I want to look for people nowadays, on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Just reading his comments, it seemed like the people of Arizona did like him at one point. So
Yeah,
he's
I was just
Republican.
asking
This is a red state.
how you felt like he's handling this situation.
I think in this situation, he's well, there's a lot more going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. I was
Sure.
reading a few
Absolutely.
articles about some of the boards he sits on for some of the companies that's making vaccines and whatnot. So we can't say that he's handling this situation to the best of his ability, because there's always a conflict of interest somewhere once you when you're stuck between a rock and a hard place where people are advancing over here that could possibly benefit you as well, but then you have a responsibility to the people. So on that accord, I don't think he's for what Arizona is and how it's been doing for the past month. I think he's moving slow. He's definitely dragging his feet on getting us back to doing what we were doing, because even when he did initial the first order, it was the mayor of Scottsdale who said, we're not going to close. I think he stayed open for another month or so.
Mhm.
Most of the bars were open. Mall was still open, at least for maybe 3 weeks. Maybe he lasted 3 weeks on it before he just, I don't know if he caved the pressure or he saw something in our data that was saying maybe it's a problem, but it's not, it hasn't been a problem here. I haven't checked the numbers today. Last I checked, it was 300, just over 300 died in Arizona, maybe just over 7,000 cases. In terms of infections, we seem to be doing pretty good, because if you're not sick, if you haven't been sick over the past month, you probably don't have it. Or if you have come in contact with it, you have the antibodies for it now. Or you just, like you say, you never came in contact with it in the first place. So, or there could be a situation where you have it and it's still incubating based on your travelings. So either you're gonna get sick, you're not gonna get sick, or you already been sick, quote unquote sick, and you have antibodies. And that's where we're at now. So I think it's just beyond economical and beyond health safety, the reason why not only Ducey, but a lot of governors throughout the country are just dragging their feet. It's ridiculous. But think about it. They tell us to stay at home, but the grocery stores are still open.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Public transportation is still running.
Yeah.
The only thing that has to close was small businesses. That's been coming to, I've been seeing a lot more of that type of conversation in my feeds. And so it's starting to make me think, well, what kind of sense does that make? If the grocery store can be open, if Walmart can be open, Home Depot can be open, these people are flourishing while the other businesses are just floundering, left to flounder. And so, in terms of him moving us back into a state of normalcy, he's been dragging his feet on that. But I think a bigger issue is, I gotta go do some research, but the unemployment payouts here, either they may have just started recently, or they're still on hold, because I've seen a lot of people say they never got the federal.
I did unemployment during the summertime when it was not this stuff going on. It takes a while for everything to go through, so I can only imagine now it's probably another 2-3 weeks at it at least.
I went through the process because I just wanted to see what it was about, see how long it would take. I went through the process. I didn't qualify, but they got back to me within 2 days, 2 or 3 days. There was a decision made, but there was really no follow-up. And so they were like, you got to continue to follow up with us. You got to file every week. So like, okay. And that was no. Actually, it took them 3-4 days to tell me they got my application.
Mhm.
It was just recently, maybe a week and a half ago. I got another follow-up email from them telling me that I wasn't even qualified. So it took them that long to even make a decision. And then, like I said, I'm reading people not getting the federal money. Not even some people that are qualified aren't getting paid their state funds. So I'll do some more research on that. But if that's the case, the whole thing has just been a shit show, at least in Arizona.
Yeah, it has. Yes,
Like,
it has.
We shouldn't even stop. Our life shouldn't have stopped at all.
No.
It really shouldn't have.
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's no different than like if somebody like a cold goes around the
Yeah.
office, man. You ain't gonna shut the
Yeah.
office down. People just drop like flies, and then when everybody gets sick, it's done. But the one that don't get sick is already immune to it.
He's already immune to it. He's had it already, or just his immune system works well.
That's why this whole the whole like I don't buy virus at all. They try and call it, man.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like man-made and planted, I think. But I mean, yeah, it's just because I mean we have immune systems. It's like so you mean to tell me that a lot of that many people are gonna get like infected with something, and then like half of them will say, let's say a little bit less, get wiped out. I just find that hard to believe. But
Here's what trips me out. We have no way of knowing if these people are lying to us or not.
exactly.
The people really don't know the body count. We don't even know if it's a real thing.
Right.
It could just be it could be a naturally reoccurring virus, and that they're telling us now. I mean, the way they have it set up, they could tell us, oh, well, this is called coronavirus, but really it's just the flu, but we're going to tell you this. Like, really, that's where people are nowadays. What are the symptoms? A fever, shortness of breath, and dry cough.
Exactly. Exactly. Make sure you wash your hands and don't shake hands with anybody.
That fucking sounds like anything. That sounds like anything. That's allergic reaction. You can have allergies, and you're outside too long and they irritate you too much. You can have a fever from that. You will sneeze. You can have a dry cough, wet cough. Yeah.
That's why I think sometimes as a whole they insult the American
They treat us
public's
like children.
intelligence, I think, man.
They treat us like children.
But yeah, just look outside the box, I guess you can say, man.
That's what's really tripping me out. Like there's really no definitive way for us to truly know if this is even a thing. They could just as easily make this up, and we have to go along with it because we don't even fucking know.
They just want to like trim down the. Who knows what their reasoning is?
I don't even think they're trimming down the population. That wouldn't even be a thing because.
Well, no, I wouldn't go say population. I mean like businesses. Like
that too. Okay, that too. Yeah, there's a lot of talk about people
Yeah.
they're trying to depopulate.
Yeah.
They're trying to run people out of businesses,
Too much competition, man. They just want to get the big boys all locked up
Yep.
and rooted in.
Yeah, and even if that were the case, I don't think there's really a more heightened number of deaths happening because of this than that would naturally occur. 2017, 56 million people died. That's an average of like 4,600,000 a month
56 million people died in the whole country.
in the whole world,
In the whole
worldwide.
world.
Yeah,
Wow.
56 million people died.
That'd be a lot of motherfuckers dying in one
America.
year.
There's definitely a problem when
Yeah.
we lose that many people.
Yeah. Unless they're white.
That's like a seventh of the population.
So unless they're white, then everything would be kind of evened out a little bit. Maybe 56 million of them less.
Man, that'd be weird. I'd be worried. For real. Is it coming for me? That's there. It's been a hell of an experience, I'll tell you that. But I think people are fed up with it. And Trump has been leading the whole thing. I don't know, listen, as a Trump supporter, I went into this knowing that Trump is a damn fool.
Didn't we all?
I went in, he's not stupid. Don't get me wrong. The dude is not stupid at all. If you think he's stupid, then you really don't know what intelligence is. Because the dude is really intelligent, but I knew he was a damn fool, a goddamn fool from the moment he stepped on stage. I was like, okay, I'm gonna support this because I want to see where this goes.
Yeah.
And it has been interesting. It's pretty. I'm gonna say he's gone from no holds bar to a more leveled tone now. He can kind of direct it a little bit better at who he wants to directly attack. But I mean, just looking at how everything has coalesced to put us in a position now where even if, like I say, even if this is a thing, we're ready to combat it with the full force of now our healthcare system, because this thing jumped off. Apparently there were no tests because it's a new virus, so they have to design tests. And then the way they design tests and the machines they use and the way they process those tests were antiquated. And so what he's done is nobody talks about the regulations. He had to tear down a regulatory machine in order to make things happen. But made it a lot easier for the government to work with private entities and control supply chains so they can manufacture our goods. So he's made that a lot easier. He's also declawed regulations through the FDA when it comes in terms of making drugs, trying drugs and testing them. Those have been let go of. So a lot of things can happen a lot faster without those regulations in place, and that's what's being done. A lot of things have been set up. Like, the response has been on point from the federal government. It's the fucking state and local governments that are really giving us the dick, if you want me to be honest. The dudes had hospitals built in New York and in several states. Hospitals been built, beds have been built, sent out Navy ships that weren't even supposed to be operating. They had to bring those online, fix those, send those up. New York and LA. So, I mean, the response has really been that and more, because going forward from this, we now have a system that is pretty much set up to combat anything. And a lot of people just don't understand what was there and what he had to work with and all the fucking hoops he had to jump through, all the people he had to go around, and maybe there was some kind of vote that needed to be done, he cut all of just the regulation. Not even laws, just regulation. He cut a lot of that out when it comes to making the supply chain, the ease in which the government can handle and deal with private merchants, wholesalers, warehousers, the distribution logistics of it. So it made it a lot easier for the Army to go in and transport goods being made overseas and bring them back here from companies that are based here. And so it was just a lot of fucking political paperwork that just needed to be destroyed and moved out of the way to make that happen. But federal government's on point. We have to start holding our state, our governors, and our mayors accountable, because they're really the ones that are supposed to be buying all the tests and buying all the ventilators. They're the ones that's supposed to do that, especially in the time now. But we're here.
All right. Well, we're going to wind this down, because usually I cut it off in 15 minutes, but it's been you got to admit, you guys love this one. This is going to be a good one, man. Thank you.
I hope so.
So once again, thank you, Wes.
Yeah, man.
Not James. And thank you guys for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed, please do. It's going up and up and up. And of course, donations are appreciated. You go to Cash App, and it'll be Cash App Michi Man. So, all right, guys. I'll see you. See you on Friday. What am I talking about?
Might see
Another
more of me,
Kamikaze
too.
Friday. Yeah.
We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, you'll see more of Wes.
We can have
All right,
2-3 hour conversation.